My name is Amanda Nurse. I'm from Brookline, Massachusetts in New England, and I am a professional runner. Well, having a 32-pound toddler is strength training in itself. I do find that I am much more imbalanced from holding him on one hip. You know, my shoulders will be tight or my hips will be tight, and so I definitely need to be doing a lot more stretching and strength training to compensate for that. However, I think having him, I'll push him in a stroller. I feel like that is an incredible core workout because having a heavy toddler and pushing a very heavy stroller is already a lot of core work in itself. But I think that they complement each other because, I'm running around after him all day long, picking him up from his crib, putting him down, because I've been very diligent about doing a lot of strength training, I find that I'm not as sore or as tight from those activities as I would be if I hadn't been doing things like bar or yoga. I think I learned through strength training that I can be a much more powerful, efficient runner if I incorporate some basic strength training moves into my everyday routine. This sounds silly, but I would look at my race photos from times when I hadn't been doing any strength training, and then I would look at race photos after I had been doing a fair amount of body weight strength training, and the difference in my gait and form was very different. And it was just that I had a much more balanced body. Like my glutes were stronger. I felt stronger at the end of races, whereas before I would feel much more weak because those muscles weren't strong enough to hold me through the end of the race. So I find that over the course of time, just maintaining kind of body weight strength exercises for me has made all the difference in making me a better, stronger runner. As a marathon runner, I think there's definitely a place and time to be doing some heavier lifting. For me specifically, as a mom to a toddler, I find that what works best for me is to do higher rep, lower weight exercises that I can do in a class that's just down the street. It's much more efficient for me in my day-to-day, and I find that I can recover quick enough that I can utilize it in between workouts. I love to utilize things like bar 3 or yoga because they're body weight exercises. A lot of the exercises we do in class are things like lunges and squats, things that will help promote running efficiency and economy in my sport specifically. And I find that those types of exercises help create long, lean muscle rather than kind of like bulky muscles that we don't need for running. So for me, I think it's all about not knowing what to do when I go to the gym. And that had always been the thing. Like I would say, oh, I don't want to go do strength training at the gym because I don't know what exercises to do. I don't know what would be helpful for a runner versus hindering, running specifically. Do I do a deadlift? What weight do I do? So for me, I always tell my runners that have never done any strength training before, just try going to a class where you're doing some form of strength. Whether you're using 2-pound dumbbells in class or you're just doing body weight work where you're doing squats and lunges, those things are all going to help you become a better runner. And even if you're just doing them once or twice a week, you're going to see a huge difference.